Why is religious freedom a cornerstone of liberty? And how does it allow liberty among mankind to flourish? Hey friends, today we want to talk a little bit about religious freedom and how that is a cornerstone of liberty. And I know we live in a day and age where, people aren't quite as churchy as they used to be. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about why that statement could even be true. How can religious freedom be any part of liberty? They're totally unrelated. And I'm going to beg to disagree, and let's talk about it a while. First of all, religious freedom is found in the First Amendment to our Constitution. So let's read that. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And of course, the amendment goes on, but this is the only portion we're talking about today. Why is religious freedom a cornerstone of liberty? And how does it allow liberty among mankind to flourish? The starting point to answer those questions is to understand something that comes from Benjamin Franklin. And he essentially proposed that there are 5 tenets of most religions. Now notice we are not talking about a specific religion. In our day and age, everybody, kind of jumps right onto the Christian, and this is not, we're not a Christian state. We're talking about religion in general and faith in general. The founders were not all a particular religion, but they believed that the faith process of life had a very important role to play. And so they kind of boiled things down to these 5 points and said, among all religions, there are 5 common elements that affect society. So listen carefully and let's talk through these a little bit. First is a belief in a creator that mankind should worship. Second is a moral code. This is a really, really important one. A moral code that supports an understanding of right and wrong. I think most of us would say that's decayed a little bit in our country today. The accountability. Oh, there's another word that's got some problems in today's culture. Accountability of mankind to God for the way we treat each other. Definitely, we see some problems with that in our news today. And then life beyond our mortal existence. People of faith believe that there is a life beyond this experience, and there is a future reckoning for how we've lived that life. These are the 5 common threads among most people who have a strong religious belief. And our founding fathers believed that those 5 common threads essentially lead to a certain goodness that is in people. If you have those threads running through your life, if you are a person of faith, you will tend to govern your life a certain way. You won't steal from your neighbor. You won't kill and destroy just for the sake of it. And that becomes the foundation for a society that can live safely together in harmony. Even though they may have disagreements on many issues, they will choose to interact with one another in a respectful, honorable, lawful way most of the time. Now, I want to say here, pause, and I don't want you to think I'm under any disillusion that all people of faith are perfect. We all know that's not true. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But there's a general statement that can be made about the faith community that typically, not 100% of the time, but typically they tend to govern themselves in a way that is lawful, moral, looking for right and wrong. They don't tend to say and believe that, oh, there's a truth for everybody and each of us will decide what's right and wrong in our own lives. culturally, that's very difficult to live with. Why? Well, think about it. If your neighbor decides that killing is okay and taking the property from your home is totally okay, and they choose to do that on a daily basis, it's going to create a lot of conflict. You're going to be unhappy. They're going to be unhappy when you react to their actions, and that's what causes breakdown and usually some sort of criminal activity in the end, like killing. So this is a thought process and a concept that if we will take to heart and understand why allowing religious freedom is so important to our actual liberty, we can see the thought process of our founders. We can see why they came to some of the conclusions they did, why some of the wording worked its way into our founding documents, and why some of those concepts are timeless. We want to consider those timeless principles, live within them, and work toward the best free culture and community that we can. That was always the goal for America. Also, we want to remember that the First Amendment does not prohibit faith engagement in the public arena. Remember what the wording said. The First Amendment says, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion. It simply means the government is not going to establish your faith for you. You as an individual have the freedom to worship, to believe as you choose to, and the government won't interfere with that. Question for you. As we've watched America fall away from being a culture of faith, have we seen behaviors in people change?